Have you ever stopped to think about your life, your biggest wins, your toughest moments? What if I told you they all kicked off in the exact same place? And no, it's not out in the world, it's right inside your own head. That's the huge and maybe a little scary idea we're diving into today. You really do become what you think.
So our guide on this journey is a book called You Become What You Think by Shubham Kumar Singh. And what's cool about it is that it's not just one person's opinion. It pulls together these super practical insights from hundreds of books on psychology, mindfulness, you name it, all boiled down to help you master your mind and, well, master your life. Right from the get-go, the book hits us with this massive idea from Buddha, and it's really the bedrock for everything else. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. Now, that might sound like a nice philosophical quote you'd see on a poster, right? But it's way more than that. It's a statement of how things actually work. Our thoughts aren't just some random background noise. They are literally the architects of our reality. And that brings us right to the heart of it all. Our thoughts aren't just sitting back and watching the show. Nope, they are active architects, constantly building the world we experience every single moment of every single day. And it's this crazy chain reaction, right? It all starts with a single thought. That thought shapes how you see the world. That perception then kicks off an emotion. That emotion drives you to take an action. And if you repeat those actions over and over, well, that becomes your destiny. It's wild to think it all starts with just one thought.
Okay, so if our thoughts are that powerful, the big question is, how do we actually get behind the wheel and steer them? Well, the book's first piece of advice is simple. We have to stop time traveling. We need to break out of the prison of the past and the future and plant ourselves right here, in the present. And the book points to two main culprits that are constantly trying to pull us out of the now. It calls them the two thieves of happiness. And just think about it for a second. How much of your mental energy gets eaten up by regret, replaying the past you can't change? And how much gets stolen by anxiety, worrying about a future that hasn't even happened? Both of them drag us away from the only place where we actually have any power, right now.
And this really gets at a powerful truth which Eckhart Tolle just nails. He reminds us, hey, the past, it's just a memory. The future, it's just an idea. The now, the present moment, that's the only reality we ever have. That's where all the action is.
But okay, what happens when things go wrong? When life throws you a curveball? The book has this fantastic analogy that helps us separate what's real pain from the suffering we add on top. It's called the two darts.
So here's how it works. The first dart, that's the unavoidable pain of being alive. You get a bad review at work, you get rejected, you stub your toe. It happens to everyone. It hurts. That's the first dart. But the second dart, now that's the one we throw at ourselves. That's the suffering. It's the anger, the blaming, the why me, the replaying it in your head 100 times. And here's the game changer. That second dart is totally optional. We have complete control over whether we pick it up and throw it. All right, so understanding our thoughts is one thing, but actually changing them consistently, that's a whole other ballgame. And for that, we need to build a new engine for our lives. And that engine is habit. And look, the book isn't about these huge, dramatic, overnight makeovers. It's all about the incredible power of getting just 1% better every single day. 1% sounds like nothing, right? But those tiny improvements, when they stack on top of each other day after day, that's where the real magic happens. That's compounding. James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, puts it perfectly. He says, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So think about it. Making your bed isn't just a chore. It's a vote for being an organized person. Going for a jog, that's a vote for being a healthy person. Each tiny action is like casting a ballot, building up the proof for who you want to be. So what's going on under the hood? How do these habits actually form? Turns out every single one of them, the good and the bad, follows this super simple 4-step loop. Your phone buzzes, that's the cue. You get that itch, that desire to see who it is, that's the craving. You pick up the phone and check, that's the response. And you satisfy that curiosity, boom, the reward. If you can understand this loop, you can change anything. And this is where we take back control. If you want to build a good habit, you just have to hack that loop. You make the cue super obvious, you make the craving attractive, you make the response as easy as possible, and you make the reward feel really, really satisfying. That's it. That's the formula for making good habits stick.
So where is all this headed? By getting a handle on our thoughts and building better habits, we're not just tweaking our behavior, we're laying the groundwork for a truly intentional life, one that's driven by purpose and real fulfillment. And a huge piece of that intentional life is finding that state we call flow. You know this feeling, right? It's when you're so completely absorbed in what you're doing, playing an instrument, coding, writing, that time just melts away. The book says this isn't just a nice feeling to have once in a while, it's a core ingredient for real, lasting happiness. But the book makes a really, really important distinction here. We often mix up happiness with pleasure. Pleasure is passive, it's fleeting. It's like eating a candy bar. It feels good for a second, then it's gone. But real, deep fulfillment, that comes from enjoyment. And enjoyment requires effort. It requires focus and engagement. It's the difference between just eating the candy bar and actually climbing the mountain to earn that incredible view.
And this might be the most mind-bending, but also the most powerful idea in the whole book. We think happiness is about getting rid of all our problems, but that's impossible. True happiness, the book argues, comes from finding problems you enjoy solving. It's about choosing the struggles that are meaningful to you. In the end, you are defined by the things you're willing to struggle for.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Your thoughts have literally built the life you have right now. You are the architect. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what are you going to think next?